movement.
Absolutely.
It's a movement. Now, this is our first room in for 18 months at least, maybe more. And Kate just wanted to do a little one for the women that just wanted to start getting out of their houses and learning more about business and how to take their business from the post-pandemic era into actually thriving after COVID. Because I don't know about who here is sick of COVID. Yeah, I'm pretty over it myself, and we're over not having enough connection. But hi, I'm Marnie Lefebvre. I'm the founder of Fempire. I'm only here for a few minutes to introduce a woman who I feel is one of the most incredible, talented, gifted women and coaches out there.
Thank you.
On the planet. And you get to be with her in the room today, which is such a gift. And so I'm glad you have the courage to take part. Kate's going to be taking you through marketing. Who loves marketing here? You love it after. Selling. Who loves to sell here? Yep. Yeah, see, all the Fempire t-shirts go, me! I love money. And who just really adores her business and loves to make a difference. Yeah. And that's what women are classically about, and that's what Kate is classically about. She started off as an engineer and went through some tough stuff, and it woke her up. So sometimes those journeys, these COVID journeys we're having, can be absolute transformations into us stepping into who we are out there in the world. Fempire believes the future is female, so we're really happy to have you here. And I'd like you to all stand up now and just give us the biggest round of applause you can manage for this amazing woman, Kate.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Please take a seat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so lovely to have you all here. It's so nice to be in room again after 18 months. So, yes, we've got a lot to get through this morning. First, a little bit of housekeeping. Toilets are just out behind you in the foyer. Hopefully you've all seen where they are. We are going to be... Did you all put your business card in the door prize box? Yes? So I'm going to be drawing that at the end. So you get a chance to win a business strategy session with me. Yoo-hoo! Then this is my human clicker over here. So Kelly is helping me, once we get the slides sorted, click through the slides because technology. So I am going to be unpacking some of my marketing wisdom today to help you grow a business that you love. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Beautiful. At the end of today, I'm going to be telling you about a program that you have the option of joining, if that sounds, if it's a good fit for you and your business. How does that sound? Yes. Good. So, welcome, welcome. Now, let me just see if we can get these slides sorted, and then we'll be on our way. So, I think it's here we go. So, yes, marketing and social media secrets in the post-pandemic era. Who can tell that business has changed since in the last 18 months? So I'm going to be sharing with you some of the ways we've experienced that it's changed and what you can do about that. So next slide is just a little request to no photos, please, because it's distracting and there is a lot of content and I want you to just focus on absorbing. And also there's a lot of IP in here that we have worked really hard to create. So that would be amazing. Thanks, Kel. As Marnie said, at Fempire, we believe the future is female. Now, we appreciate that we are a disruptor brand. This tagline triggers a lot of people. And we secretly enjoy it when it does. But we are not a man-hating brand. We love men. I have 2 sons. I have a husband I love. So this is not about hating on men. This is about giving women the opportunity to step up and equalise the playing field when it comes to business. So on the next slide, it's the beautiful yin and yang symbol. So we all know that when the masculine and feminine energies are balanced, the system thrives as a whole, yes? Yeah. So we are about equalising and giving women the skills, the knowledge, the tools to step up and thrive as successful, profitable business owners. So yes, we believe the world needs more successful female business owners. And why? Next slide, Cal. Thank you. Because this is the reality for women in business. And we have researched this to death in the past, so there's lots of stats out there. But just to summarise the issue that we have, the numbers say that women earn 30 to 40% less than men across the board in entrepreneurship, which is a bigger difference than just the glass ceiling in the corporate world, which is about 15% less, I think. And only 45% of women contribute to their superannuation, so they're not building their future wealth, which is a problem if we want to equalise the playing field. Thanks, Kel. When it comes to investment funding, this lady's face here on the left pretty much says it all. But when it comes to angel investment for startup businesses, women get an average of $935,000, men get $2.1 million, even though the return on investment for women is 78 cents per dollar and for men it's 31 cents per dollar. So there's an unconscious gender bias that is out there, and we have got a tough challenge shifting that and changing that. But we can do it, right? So with the right mindset, with the right strategies, we can absolutely make headway, and that's what Fempire is on a mission to do. We want all of you to get out there and attract major funding. Imagine if we could get that. I mean, that would be nice, but... So, yeah. So, yes, that's what we're here to do. Thanks, Kel. 35% of business owners in Australia are female-owned. Woo! Still not 50, but it's not bad, and it's increasing all the time. 46,600 businesses were launched last year. Woo! However, 80% of them don't make it beyond 18 months. And that's because of the next slide, the 6 stages of business growth. Did everyone get a chance did you receive your Fempreneur Success Handbook? Yep. So in there, I talk you through what these different stages are. If you haven't, let me know. It should have been sent to you automatically when you registered. But basically, this is dollars below the line, dollars above the line. You validate, test your business idea in the market, make sure there's a need for it. Then you put lots of money into launching. Who can relate to feeling like pumping money into your business to get it off the ground? Then you start going through the build phase where you start attracting customers, bringing in some revenue. And sometimes that feeling that you're just constantly putting money into the business and not getting any return yet, it's a really uncomfortable space to sit, yes? And we don't know, we can't see that it's going to turn around, and it's scary, and you feel like I'm putting all this money in, it's not coming back, I can't, because this is a phase of planting seeds. You've got to plant lots of seeds and eventually they germinate, but this is where they germinate, and it takes time. That whole process can take anywhere from 12 months to 3 years, depending on what your business is. So it's scary sitting in this space. That's why we exist, to jump in and help you get through that, because we want you to get here, here and here, because that's how we're going to shift the stats that we've shown you until now. Sounds good? Yeah. Excellent. So, okay, a little bit about me and why should you listen to me. So this is, I call this BC, before crisis. So yes, I had a midlife crisis, but it was in my 30s, but a little bit earlier. So I chose to study engineering when I was 17 years old because I was told it was the responsible thing to do. It was what the world needed. I'm sure so many women in here can relate. We choose something that it's not what our heart and our joy wants, but we know there's a need for it. So I pursued engineering with my whole heart, except my heart just was never in it. I was never in my zone of genius. And as a consequence, I felt like I had a leak in my energy system. So every day, from the moment I woke up, it just felt like the day, got worse as time went on, and I'd come home completely drained, completely shattered. It's not to say my career was fulfilling, but it was not aligned with my truth. It wasn't me. I was trying to be something that I'm not. So I struggled on for 12 years. The wheels started falling off. I started just getting lingering illnesses, colds that would never go away, flus that I couldn't shake. This sounds familiar, Tina? She's going. Then I went to doctor after doctor. They prescribed me antidepressants. They said maybe it's all in your head. Anyway, it was, to cut a long story short, quite a challenging period of time. And I eventually was diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome. So finally there was a diagnosis. The doctor said, yep, okay, what you have is real, it's not in your head, and so I'll send you to all these different doctors. And then I went on a 2 or 3 year journey of seeing all different kinds of doctors, medical specialists, therapists, you name it. But the chronic fatigue just did not go away. The kicker started when my husband and I decided we wanted to have babies. I was 32 when we said, look, it's time, we need to try because the clock's ticking and we know we want this, but we'd been so focused on our careers and me with my health. And then those ladies who have had troubles falling pregnant can know what a devastating journey it can be. Negative pregnancy test after negative pregnancy test. This went on 3, 6, 9, 12 months. Couldn't fall pregnant. After about 2 years, the miracle happened. Got the positive pregnancy test and just, oh my gosh, we've done it. This is it. Went through the whole first 3 months of feeling really ill and thinking, okay, this is awful, but it's for all, we've done it, we're nearly there. Went along to the 12-week scan, thinking, finally we can tell our family and friends. My colleagues have been looking at me, it was starting to get obvious. Went along to the 12-week scan, all excited, only to see a lifeless baby on the screen. So that was heartbreaking, but I did what I've always done. I put on my happy face, I went back to work, everything's good, nothing to see here. Went back in the city, kept working away, thinking this is awful, but I've just got to get through. 6 months later, fell pregnant again. Hallelujah, maybe this time it's going to hold. But I was terrified, so terrified because of what had happened. Anyway, tried to stay positive, went in for the baby scan, and again, 11 weeks, lifeless baby on the screen. So that was the point that my knees hit the floor, and I just went, I can't do this anymore. And I still get choked up about it because it was a really horrific time. And I couldn't put on the happy mask anymore. I couldn't put on the it's okay here. I spent about 2 weeks in bed just thinking I'm done. I don't want to go on anymore. And I was actually down at Cottesloe Beach. I just rang into work for the first time in my whole life in 15 years and just said I'm not coming in. I had never ever done that before. Just took 3 or 4 weeks off. Was down at Cottesloe Beach one morning, enjoying a coffee, and I suddenly just these words dropped into my head, and it was give up. And I suddenly thought, what? And then this feeling of relief just came over me of, oh my God, what if I just gave up trying to be this other person that I'm not? And I made the decision, I'm going to quit. I'm just going to quit my 15-year career. I had a PhD. People were like, you're nuts. How can you just give up all that time and effort that you've invested into your career? But, it all looked amazing on the outside. People were like, but you're so good, and, you've got all these awards, and it's amazing. But I realised I wasn't living my truth. So, thanks, Kel. My dark night of the soul, as I call it, I know we all go through one, was where I decided I have to walk my truth, whatever that takes. When I went home to my husband to tell him I'm quitting engineering, you can imagine the look on his face, his jaw dropped. What? What do you mean? His identity being wrapped up in mine, and I just said, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to figure it out. So I did figure it out. I went job hunting, I hired myself, and I haven't looked back. So now I am a Fempire business coach for women. I started out as a career coach when I met Marnie. There's a little bit more to come around that because I'm going to share some funny stuff about my original branding that is going to make you laugh. And then met Marnie, went on the coaching journey with her, got my coaching, career coaching business off the ground, loved it, loved working with Marnie, and decided I want to work with her and do the work that she's doing, helping, because to me it's helping each and every woman walk their truth and make great money doing it, right? So I blog, I get paid to blog. I'm writing my second book now, which is coming out in December, yay, which is called Seeds of a Calling, and it's all about how to find the calling that is yours to live and the consequences of not doing so. Anyway, so yes, now I'm a Fempire business coach. And I tell you that because I want you to know why I do this work and why I'm so passionate about helping you get where you need to go. Thanks, Kel. I am a mum to 2 boys, so we did end up, when I made the decision to quit, I fell pregnant and held the pregnancy no problem. So, yes, and that to me was just confirmation from life, from the universe, that when you choose your truth, life flows. Yeah. And I also had that picture just to let you know that I get what it's like to be a mum and grow a business at the same time, because I have been there, done that. I am still doing it. I'm still in the trenches and it's not easy, but we can make it work, yeah, for the mothers that are juggling both. So our vision at Fempire is to have a massive positive impact on the lives of women and to inspire change worldwide. So there we are. Next, yep. So I get a lot of men saying to me, oh, it's nonsense focusing on women. Like I had a man say to me just very recently, I have a daughter and, sorry? I had a man say very recently, I have a daughter, and he said, that's ridiculous what you do. It's not needed. These days it's not needed. I have a daughter and I've taught her to believe that she can do whatever she wants to do. And I said, that's beautiful. And my dad did exactly the same to me. And I ended up burning out in my mid-30s, and I do believe I can do anything that I set my mind to. But there are unique challenges that we face, and there is unconscious gender bias, and it's just a fact. So let's just acknowledge it. And morning, Adele. There's a chair just anywhere, sweet. There's one down the front, wherever you feel comfortable. So the unique challenges that we do face are, as we've talked about, unconscious gender bias. So I just want to play you a very short 2-minute video on just to highlight what this is. On the next slide, Kel, hopefully we can click on the link here. And if all goes well, it will play with sound.
Because I don't see it on the
Oh, okay, yeah. Right, so we're going to have to, even human clickers are fallible.
It's technology, not the clicker.
Yeah. So I think, where's my mouse? Is it over here? Where is the mouse?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so it's on there.
There.
Can we? Oh, there we go. So yeah,
There
if you,
she comes.
that's it. Click on that one, and then the link just below that. That's it. And then if all. And hopefully I'll put it on big screen. Let's see if this works. Oh, yep, here we go.
Have you ever been told because you're a girl that you should not do something?
Yes. All the time. All the time. It's a constant. People think that girls are supposed to be all happy and la-di-da, you know?
Be kind of traditional, like don't do something too challenging.
I can't really, like, rescue anybody. Like, it's always, like, the boys who rescue the girls in the stories.
I want you to go grab one of those boxes over there. This represents your limitation. So I'd like you to write on each one of the things that you said.
I started holding back and not trying things out as much, and just it limited who I was.
I quit trumpet, I quit basketball, I quit wrestling. I told myself that I should stop if I'm not good
And did you quit?
for a week.
And then what happened?
I proved them wrong by trying harder to get better.
I try to behave what other people want me to behave, and then I found that was horrible. So I said, okay, no more.
What do you want to do with that box?
I really want to break this box or maybe explode it.
Take them.
Go for it.
Wait, are you serious?
Thanks,
I think that you need to keep going with whatever you love to do and do anything you want to conquer any fear you've had and just live your dream and do whatever you want to do. And that's why I love the word unstoppable.
Makes me cry every time. Thanks, Kel. I've seen that so many times and I still get teary. Who can relate to the unconscious gender bias? Yeah. So, let's see. Thanks, Kel. Is this one? Oh, sorry, ladies. Oops. No. Oh, this one's interesting too, yeah. It's crazy. I highly recommend you watch it. It's really, really interesting. Oh, how do I need to stop that, don't I? Yeah. Sorry, next go. Okay. It's a really good series of videos they've done. All right, so moving on. Next slide. Thanks, Clicker. It's back again. So Sheryl Sandberg. I want every little girl who's been told she's bossy to be told again she has leadership skills. Yep. All right, so this is the second challenge that women face. We are just naturally less confident, I think, because of all the unconscious bias. Another for your info on the next slide. This is really worth watching. Why do so many incompetent men become leaders? Make a note of Thomas Chamorro Premusic, but it's a great talk about how we don't always distinguish between confidence and competence. Yeah, so that's just another sort of unique challenge that we face. Thanks, Kel. Number 3 challenge, we do tend to over-deliver and undercharge. Can we relate? Yep, which again is related to the confidence thing. Number 4, the burden of unpaid work falls largely on the shoulders of women. And I don't need to show you these stats because we know it in our own lives, right? That when we're raising children or even just running a household without children, women tend to spend more than twice the time that men do on keeping the household and keeping things running. So on the next slide is a survey that I often get coaching clients to do because it's really interesting. I did it myself. It's about 10 pages long, this survey. I can send you all a link afterwards if you'd appreciate that. But basically, you go through, you tick all the things you do, whether it's always, often, sometimes, or never, and your partner does the same. And it's just all the different things that are involved in childcare, So we all know there's a million and one things, but it can be an interesting wake-up call because you might not even realise you're doing too much. And I know personally for me during COVID has actually been good for my partner and my husband and I, because when we had to work home in that time, he said to me one day, "Gosh, you work really hard." And he suddenly saw that we'd not just drinking coffee and go, just go, oh, let's go put the washing out and maybe watch some Netflix. That's not what we do. We are trying to run a business. We are trying to keep the kids going, homeschool, doing everything. So it's just something to be aware of. Now, I love this quote by the lovely legend, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who's left us now. But yeah, it's the responsibility for raising the next generation that is when we can truly step up and equalise the stats I showed you in the beginning. Okay, so those are the challenges, but here's the things we can do about them. Thanks, Kel. Own your awesome. Stop devaluing yourself if you do. Tell others what makes you so great. I know that's icky. I get it because I still resist telling people what makes me so great. And even when Marnie says, or, showers me with compliments, it's an instinctive thing, isn't it, to go, ooh. But men don't seem to have a problem with that. So we should just own it and embrace it and tell everyone why we are so good at what we do. Because if we don't tell them, they don't know, and how can they ever want to work with us if they don't know? Okay, next one. They monitor their self-talk. Be kind and gentle to yourself. And this is always what I ask myself, would I speak to my kids this way, the way I'm talking to myself right now? It's always a good check-in. Next one. Surround themselves with other successful women, like we're doing this morning, yeah. So stay away from negative people and choose your wizards wisely. So many women that I work with say, yeah, but my husband's brother said I should do this. It's like, great, is he running his own business? Is he a woman? Is he succeeding? Great. So listen if he's all those things, but not if he's not. So yeah. Say no. Who struggles with saying no? Yes. And I have learned that to be successful in my business, I do need to get ruthless with my time and energy. And it hurts. It's hard sometimes to say no. But yes, I am getting, let's say, more comfortable. I'm not comfortable, but I'm getting less uncomfortable. I think that's what I'm trying to say, with saying, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. And I struggle with mum guilt a lot. But yeah, we have to focus on our biz. They ask for help, and we don't have to do it all alone, all ourselves. And I had someone this week say, would you like me to go do those errands for your office works? And I had to go in the city to pick up the banner for Perth business events. And she just said, would you like me to do that for you? And I was so close to saying, no, it's okay, I'll do it, I'll manage. And I just said, no, that would be amazing, yes, thank you. And it saved me so much time. And it's good to receive.
Well done.
Oh, thank you. Okay, thanks, Karen. Oh, so we have the Upself self-care expert in the room. Tracy is the founder of Upself, and so important, right, to prioritise self-care. And I know how hard it is when we're time poor. But if that's a challenge for you, check out Tracy's website, because she is all about creating a self-care revolution. Because if we can make this part of the way we do business, then we'll all thrive so much better. They feel the fear and do it anyway. Yep. And I always think of fear and excitement on the path of running your own business. It's like walking the tightrope, and you've got them both in tension all the time. Every step you take, it's scary, but it's exciting at the same time. Okay, yes, getting comfortable earning great money. Who is comfortable earning great money? Is anyone? Yeah? Good. Used to be. So what changed, Em?
I gave up my high-paying career, and now I'm not earning anything, and I'm not comfortable with that. But
Yeah.
I
But
felt
you would.
But I felt I deserved it before.
Good.
Because I'd put in the hard yards, I'd earned that career, and I felt I was worth what I was being paid.
Yeah.
But I'm starting at the bottom again, so I have to build up that worthiness of charging for that again.
Yeah, and it is a confidence thing, right? Yeah, and who can relate to feeling like an imposter when you start your own business? And so your confidence goes down because you feel like a fraud. You think, who am I to do this work? But yeah, who are you not to do this work? It's about getting your gifts into the world and serving in the way that is great for you and society. Okay, they invest in themselves and their business. So I've really noticed this distinction between men and women. Women say, I can't afford it. Men say, what's my return on investment? So they're not thinking about, do I have the money now? They're thinking, okay, if I get that money and I put it in, what am I going to get back? So yeah, you do, in fact, and as we've seen from the 6 stages of business growth, we do have to invest in order to grow. Okay, Setting goals and following through. Obviously, get yourself a great mentor or coach. I have one, I need one. I'm, doing the work that I do as a coach, I need a coach, and my coach has a coach, and it goes on and on. It's just we all thrive better when we have accountability and support and someone in our corner on our team. And planning is just so essential. Thanks, Kel. It's the old cliche, failing to plan is planning to fail. I just wanted to, because I know we have, we are about business, but there's a spiritual life, universal element to running a business too. And energy flows where intention goes. And I just wanted to show you this graphic because I love it. I created it. Because I thought there's no graphic out there that explains how the law of attraction works. And so I put this together for my ladies to show this is how important your thought processes are, because this is not woo-woo anymore. This is quantum physics that's been proven factually and scientifically. So this is not woo-woo, this is real. So energy field, this is the energy field, and we have energy healers in the room, and they know that this is just true. So the energetic field and the physical world down here. So you have a clear, strong desire or intention. The energy flows there. Now you have to believe and trust. This is the tricky bit. It's like trusting, am I on the right path? Do I believe that I'm capable of doing this? But you have to, because that's how we live in a call and response universe. The law of attraction just is whatever is internal at a physical quantum level, whatever you're thinking has to be mirrored in reality. So you believe, because I can think that, it can happen. Then you give gratitude that this is already on its way to you. Then you take consistent, inspired action. So we can't just sit on our cushion at home, unfortunately, and wish it into being, but we do have to do this, which is where we come in to help you do that. And then when you do all that consistently, it has no option but to appear in physical reality. So just a reminder on how important your intention and your thought processes are. Thanks, Kel. All right, so down to business. How has COVID changed the business landscape? There have been winners and losers. I haven't got them all on here, but this is just a few. E-commerce, been going gangbusters, right, Sharon? You've noticed. Direct-to-consumer brands, which I'll talk about shortly. Online education and training, obviously. It's really hard to get people in a room these days because we're so used to the virtual Zoom thing. We have got Zoom fatigue, but a lot of people are now like, well, if I don't have to get out of my pajamas and I can just turn up, then I'm in. If I have to get dressed up and, it's another barrier. Obviously, couriers and logistics services, Zoom, who wishes they had shares in Zoom? Yeah. And what? Yes. Exactly. We missed out on those two big booming things, didn't we? Cleaning services, who would have thought, but they're going nuts. Local tourism is going really well. Gardening, home-based activities, really good. Cycling, all that kind of stuff. Virtual assistants. Do we have any virtual assistants, ladies, in the room? Don't think so. That's another area that's because people are realising I can grow my business with virtual assistants. Traditional retail, not doing well. Airlines, trains and cruise ships and international tourism, obviously industries that aren't doing well. So let's look at, it's this whole digital transformation thing that businesses are now more trusting of technology. So when they interviewed in the last few months, all these different businesses, more than half, in most cases above 60%, shifting to cloud-based process automation, and made permanent changes. So it's all about change and adaptation, but embracing technology. Thanks, Kel. 74% of professionals expect remote work to become standard. 90% of employees don't want to return to the office full time. And this is interesting, 61% of people prefer remote work and learning now. And we've also noticed that. So we used to run our Fempreneur program, which I'm telling you about later, in room. It was 3 days in room, and then during COVID you actually signed up for the in-room experience. Yeah, no? And then we had to take it on, and then we had to pivot and get it online. And some ladies who have done the in-room and the online experience said they actually prefer the online experience because you can digest the information at your own pace. You're still getting the one-on-one support. Anyway, it's just an interesting stat there. Digital first approach is now critical. So we used to do everything in room. Now it's obviously all online, mostly. Yep. So this is the direct-to-consumer concept. So cutting out the middleman, which unfortunately those in retail, it's not good for them. But if you can run your business from your home direct to customer, that's what people want these days. The online market is super saturated. Who's noticed that? How hard is it to get people's attention these days in the digital market? So it's about learning how to stand out. This one's really important, and I'm going to take a deeper dive into this one. But your brand values matter and how you articulate those, because people are more conscious. And if they have a choice of getting a product or service from someone who's ethically and sustainably morally correct, then they'll take that over someone who's not, for sure. That's just the way it is these days. And yeah, we all know since COVID, the only constant is change. So what to do about it? How do we take all those different ways that the landscape's changed, and what do we do? Thriving strategy number 1. So define and constantly articulate your why. Now, most of the Fempire ladies have a crush on Simon Sinek. Does everyone know Simon? If you don't, if you don't know him, I really encourage you to go and check out his videos. But this one, Start With Why, is really critical if you're a business owner to understand and get your head around this concept, because it is so critical. We have worked with so many ladies. When they embrace this concept, they thrive. When they don't, they don't. It's just that simple. So it's because of his 3 concentric circles, and on the next slide I explain why. So the human brain has 3 layers. The reptilian brain, obviously, is how we started out, and it's reactionary. So it goes on gut, it goes on feeling, it goes on emotion. The limbic brain is where we started, that's the how, that's where we started figuring out how to do. This is just pure reaction. This is the how, okay, how can we figure out how to do this? And then the neocortex is the latest, evolutionary layer of the human brain, and it's the logic, the analysis, the facts, the figures. And the biggest mistake most businesses make is they try to sell people the what. And he gives the example, I have a smart TV, it has 10 different streaming channels, it has this, it has that. And people are like, great, but why do I need that? So it's in marketing, it's all about speaking to the why, the emotion, because people are either going to resonate with your brand and your why, or they're not. And on the next slide, he says, your job is to do business with those who believe what you believe. So anyone might want what you have, but if they don't believe why you're doing what you're doing, if they don't have the same values, the same resonance with you in your why, then they're not a good customer for you. It's not going to be a good fit. So this is on a personal level. When you're really clear on your why and the difference you're here to make, you can get through anything. So everyone knows that business is not easy. It's hard. We fail, we get knocked down 10 times as long as we get up 11. But it's the why. So we can take it from this guy who's been through concentration camps of the worst kind, that he noticed clearly in the Auschwitz concentration camp that the people who had something to live for after the war, they survived, and those that had given up hope, that they didn't have anything left to live for, perished. So when you have something to live for, when you believe in something, it will get you through. So at Fempire, we believe so passionately in helping women live their truth and make great money doing it, that when we get knocked down, and we do, and we have, this last 18 months has been really challenging, we just keep going back to, but that's because we believe there's a need for our services. We've got to keep going, we've got to keep doing this. So to explain the difference between your why, So as a business owner, you've got to understand and articulate your why. Then you have to translate it into language that people can understand and resonate with. So your vision, your mission, your values, this is all the corporate stuff, right, but it's really important. So your why, just to help you understand the difference, your why is your backstory. It's what brought you here. For me, it's my journey of chronic illness and miscarriages to getting here and realising I want to walk my truth. That's why I do what I do. It's my backstory, and you all have one. And so we're starting here. My vision is telling people where I'm going. So when I said to you our vision is to have a massive impact on the lives of women worldwide, that's where we're going. And your mission statement is the compass that guides you there. It's how you get there. So this is really important for you to articulate. And on the next slide, I have Etta May's vision. So Emma did the Fempreneur program with us, and didn't you, that you wanted to create wedding gifts? But we're like, but why? Well, I don't know, because they're pretty, and I don't, anyway, we dug deep, and she came up with her why, and we'll see later. It's because, tell us why. Your memories matter.
Yeah, your memories matter. But I think we live such a busy life, and I know that I was working 80 hours a week, and I would blink, and 6 months had gone by, and I wasn't spending time with the people that I loved the most. I was cancelling birthdays and scraping through, and I thought, this is not how I want to live my life, and I don't think that is what other people want to do either. So we need to prioritise those moments of connection with the people that are important to us. We need to find joy in the simple things in life and the everyday, and we need to take opportunities to create memories rather than filling our lives with materialistic belongings. So it became my vision for my business to help other people celebrate, no matter how small the wins in life, and to find a decor for their celebrations that means something and not just something that they can throw away. I wanted something that could last the test of time and retain memories so that it becomes like a legacy within their.
And would you rather buy from Emma or someone who's who's got some cheap things on eBay for wedding decor? Yeah, it's the people who believe what you believe want Emma's stuff, right? And you can see how powerful it is when you're able to articulate that vision. If you believe what Emma believes, then boom, you're in, right? Okay. Thriving strategy number 2. Establish trust and credibility with powerful branding and content. And yeah, we tend to work on this a lot with our clients, but it is just so important. So I'm going to walk you through some really important concepts on this. So sometimes your brand just needs an update. Most of us can't even remember the original Adidas, but we probably remember that one from the 80s and 90s, and then now it's this. So sometimes you just need a refresh and a rebrand. And Airbnb started out on the left, and they've now updated. Now, full disclosure, this is really embarrassing. When I started out career coaching, so after my big crisis, and I thought, I want to help women avoid going through the pain that I went through. It was so terrible and I wasn't listening to my heart, so I need to help women in corporate find what they want to do and get out and live their truth. So I contacted a brander, and I spent lots of money. I'm not even going to tell you how much money I've burned in business on bad decisions, but this was the logo they came up with. And it was Whispering Heart, because it's, your heart's always whispering to you, and you should listen. You should. However, the ladies that I was trying to attract, my target market was all on St George's Terrace, busy professionals. Can you imagine them looking at this? They'd just be, no thanks. I'd scare them off. So it's about establishing that trust and credibility with your target market. So I found money, thank goodness. And we went on the rebranding journey. And this is what I turned into after the rebrand. So I became Inspired Careers International. I was helping people overseas and in Australia, and I rebranded. Would you rather get career coaching from this lady or the previous one? So can you see how important it is? It's that instant impression you get of, do you feel like you're in safe hands when you look at that? Yeah. And the other one, not so much, maybe?
Depends where you resonate.
Exactly, yeah. And
but not
No, exactly. That's what I was going to say. It completely depends on your target market and who you're trying to help and what they resonate with. And we have the standard rule, you should always dress one level higher than your target market, just because you then establish that trust and credibility. So, I mean, if you're a lawnmower man and obviously you turn up in your lawnmower gear, yeah, that's because your target market, they're expecting that, you know. So it's just about knowing your target market really well. Thriving strategy number 3, have a strong online presence, and we're here today to learn more about that. Get comfortable with being seen. Is that scary for people? Yeah. I have to say it makes me uncomfortable, but I also have seen the results of, I've had so many women say to me, I wanted to work with you when I saw one of your videos, because I just resonated with your energy and how you spoke. And that's how we connect. Video, as Jeremy knows, a videographer, is the fastest way to connect with your audience. Back to that one, Kel. Thank you. Get virtual assistants if you're not savvy online. And I just put this here because I know a lot of this seems really overwhelming to women when they think, oh, I've got to go online and all this stuff. But we can, when you work with Fempire, we can introduce you to virtual assistants, and they're $10 an hour, and they are amazing. And you know, I spend a couple of $100s a month to I know Tracy outsources a lot. It's the only way, right? We just don't have enough hours in the day. Karen's just been introduced to the world of outsourcing, and how's it going for you, Karen?
Oh, it's taken a good 10, 15 years. No, it's brilliant. I wasn't born into a world that understands all that. And look, I'm good at what I do. And I love that creativity, but if it comes down to bottom line stuff, let's get smart and let me do what I do and give somebody else what they do so beautifully,
Yeah.
and support the economy.
Yeah.
Supporting them to do that.
Exactly. Yeah, you have virtual assistants, don't you, Sharon? People help.
Not on that, but that's what I need.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, and yeah, they're a godsend because, someone did ask me, but don't you want to support local business? And I do where I can in my business. I have local ladies helping me as well. But for the nitty gritty stuff, we have teams in the Philippines, and I love seeing the joy on my girl's face when I send her a new client and she lights up, and because then she can earn more money and you know, and she's building a little thriving enterprise over there, and we're all interconnected, you know. So we think it's not supporting local business, but yes, we're supporting communities over in the Philippines, and that's wonderful too, you know.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
One of the things that I have tried to use virtual assistants for social media before, and it's hard sometimes because they're not necessarily your voice. So how do you kind of get over that?
Yeah, training them up, and yeah, having the right virtual assistants and training them up. Tracy, did you want to add anything to that?
Like, there is some things like personal connection you can't take away from, but once you make that first personal connection, then you can delegate it and outsource to continue that journey. Do you know what I mean? You don't need to do every piece, but it's not about handing over every piece.
No, and I think it's about, in fact, I still write my content, I still create my videos, so it's about creating that core content that you want the world to see, but then letting your assistant get it out and give it legs and spread it far and wide and do the hashtags, the captioning, all that stuff that is so time consuming. So every 2 weeks I know I have to create a video and a blog, and then I just hand that to my girl and she does the magic and puts it everywhere. And it's great when you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, such and such liked your post. Oh, what's going on? Which post? What did I can't, you know, stuff's going out without you needing to do it. So that's where you're going to get real breakthroughs, when you can uncouple your time from all that stuff and get someone else. You're still the creator and you're still the voice of your brand, and you need to be. Even Marie Forleo says she still writes all her emails and she still creates her videos, obviously. So that's something I think we should always do, but it's the nitty gritty and the logistical stuff that outsource, yeah. Build and grow your social platforms. So here's just some ways, if you're getting started. How many in the room are startups? So in the first launch build phase? Yeah. So obviously we've got to start where we're at, and sometimes just inviting all your friends and all your connections to follow you is it's where we all start. Then you can run paid like campaigns. And Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising now is so powerful because of the targeted audiences you can create. So you really can target very specific audiences and get them to like your page so that they are your target market. They're not just random people, because you want your page to be followed by people who are actually interested in your work and are going to buy from you, yeah? Thanks, Kel. Use the invite to like feature in Facebook. So all of you, I'm sure when you go into your business page, you'll see there is an invite to like feature. Make sure you've maximised that fully. And follow like a boss on Instagram. So I'm sure you've noticed that building your following is just about letting people know that you exist. So reaching out to people and say, hey, you know, the easiest way to do this, I find, is go to your competitors and follow their followers, because those people are interested in the service or the product that that person is offering. So you go and follow all those people. Really, it's just to say, hey, I'm here. And if they like what they see, they'll follow you back. So if they're interested in your work, they'll follow you. And that's how we just gradually, consistently over time, just reach out to more and more people, build your following that way. And Tracy's amazing at doing this, sharing the work of others and interacting with other business pages. So this is where you get lots of traction, because it gives you access to the other person's audience. And then if they like what they see, then they'll follow you. So it is a giver's game in business. The more you can help and support other businesses, the more they will support you back, and that's the way you can grow your following. Run regular promotions. So this can take many different forms, but one example I'm going to show you is on the next slide, the good old-fashioned QR code, which COVID has given new life to. So remember, we all used to think QR codes, what are they? Now that we've had to check in everywhere we go, we're all very familiar with how the QR code works. So this is an example of a promotion that you can do in your business, but I'm actually going to ask you to do this right now. So if you can, scan the QR code with your phone. You'll see that if you have an Android, it may not, but on an Apple, it definitely will. And I'm going to give a lucky person a Fempire t-shirt if you don't have one already. And if you've got one, you can give it to someone you love, someone female in your life, or male, that would be interesting. Can everyone pull up, when you focus your camera on it, does it pull up a website? Yeah. Where does it take you? Yeah, it works. So you can set this up. Now, when you get to my Facebook page, and if you leave a short review, I am going to I'm going to draw the winner of who's going to get the t-shirt. And I'm doing this firstly because then you will like my page and I can stay connected with you. And secondly, because I want to demonstrate how easy it is for you to do this. So in Canva, does everyone know Canva? You can create QR codes. Yeah, easy. Yeah. Oh. Yes.
I've got two thingy. I can't remember the whole. Now I have to go and try and find your page.
So in Canva, you can create a post. There's an option to insert a QR code, and then it asks you what is the URL you want to link to the QR code. And then you download it and insert it wherever. So I created that QR code in Canva, and that's how easy it is. So what you can do is create a landing or a promotion, a landing page or something that or even just to get new likes on your page. And you say, hey, for whoever goes to my page and leaves a comment, I am going to reward them with something that you offer from your business. And that's a way you can build engagement and likes and following on your page. Does that make sense? Cool, right? Next one. Partner with micro-influencers. Now, you notice we say micro.
You wanted a review.
Yeah. I think you can just leave a star review without a comment, can you? If that's quick and easy. And if not, do it in your own time, Natalie. Yeah. It was more just to demonstrate.
Well, it's actually really clever.
Yeah, it is, right? And because people don't want, it's all about lowering the resistance for people. It's about saying, look, all you do is click, shoot your phone at the thing and you're there. So people don't want to have to type in HTTPS, blah, blah, blah. It's about making it quick and easy for people. So we say micro-influencers because obviously these days, if you're it's hard to get in with the big influencers, but micro-influencers can give you a lot of traction in your business. So these are people who say they've got followings of 5, 10, 15, even up to 50,000 followers, but they're not, what society considers influencers, but they still have an audience that is your target market. So it's about partnering with those people and collaborating so that you get across their audience. And sometimes all it is sharing their posts and content and getting on the radar of their followers. Yeah? Okay. Thriving strategy number 4, operate as much of your business as possible in a digital-first mode. So, can you automate your customer experience? Has anyone in the room got a fully automated customer? Yeah, good. Challenging, yeah. Oh, all my Fempire ladies should have their hands. Getting there, right? We're getting there. So, Karen, how long did it take you to get your Calendly thing set up? A few years?
3 years.
So we'll get there eventually, but it's a process. Those of us that didn't grow up with technology, it's a longer process getting comfortable in the online world. But if you can make your customer acquisition process or automatic. I mean, I spoke to someone the other day who wouldn't book in with someone who was highly recommended because they didn't have an online booking system. And I have to admit, I'm a bit the same. I went looking around a dentist locally who had an online, book your appointment online because I don't want to have to ring anymore. And everyone's like that, so you have to automate it, make it easy for people to engage with you in your business. And do you have online payment options? That's critical as well. Thanks, Kel. Finding ways to cut through the noise. So video and animated content is essential these days. Now on the next slide, I'm just giving you some examples. Use video to connect with your audience. Silly boomerangs can be fun just to, interestingly, boomerangs that are, they're just short snippets. It's about the fact that an image is moving, that is what gets engagement. So they've done lots and lots of research, and static images compared to moving images, even if it's just a 2-second boomerang, get way more engagement. And it's very easy to create animated videos in Canva these days. It's extremely simple. And if you don't know how, having a virtual assistant that knows how can be really helpful. So yeah, as I said, I've had lots of ladies. My videos are pretty boring, but I just show up and talk about stuff that I want to share in terms of growing a business. And it connects and people reach out and they want coaching, so it works. So who is feeling resistant to showing up online on video? Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't even dare put a hand up. Yeah, but you are. I know. It's uncomfortable. It took me, so how I got to get comfortable on camera was working with a business coach many years ago. Not Marnie, this was pre-Marnie times. Who made me show up every day with a 3-minute video for a whole month. So 30 days I had to show up every day with a 3-minute video, and she was cracking the whip. And it really made me, the first video I did, I begged her to please let me do it pre-recorded, don't make me go live, because so I was allowed to do the first 10 pre-recorded. The first 3-minute video I did took me all day. I dropped my kids off at school. I spent the whole day recording a 3-minute video. But the more I did it, by day 10, I'd gotten it down to, just maybe half an hour it took me. And then I had to make the leap to live, and that was very scary, let me tell you. But like anything, the more you do it, the easier it gets and the more just natural. And now, on the next slide, I'm going to show you how easy it is to go live, because we're going to do it. So, has anyone not done live before, Facebook Live, in this room? Okay, so it's really easy. All you do, you go to your Facebook page where you just were with the QR code, but you don't need to do that. Then, so I'm on my Facebook page here, And just under, so if you're the owner of your page, you'll get the option to create a post, and it'll say photo, add to story, or go live. There's 3 options. So all you do is click the live button, and then it says start live video. So we just wait. Hi there, Fem Sisters. So we are live at our Marketing and Social Media Secrets event. Give us a wave, ladies. Tell us a yoo-hoo. Oh, someone's got me live on there. How are we enjoying? Everyone give me a big cheer. Ready? Woo! How are you enjoying the Marketing Secrets so far? Woo! See you soon. Finish. Done.
That's like, even that, you doing that seems so easy, but it's like, that's scary that it's going up.
Oh, it's only to my page, don't worry. Yeah. But I just wanted to demonstrate how easy it is to do that.
What did you press? So you go to your page, and what did you press? Not photo.
Go live.
And
Yeah,
that's
so we're...
saved there. Once you've finished it, it's still then saved
Yes.
on your page.
Yeah, so then it asks you if you want to share that video. So now if I go to my profile, sometimes it takes a few minutes for it to process. Let's just see if it's there already. We love technology when it... Oh yeah, look, there we are. So if I click on that, look. So yeah, and imperfection. People want imperfection. And they don't want polished and polished and perfect anymore. They've done lots of research on this as well. So the fact that my camera was really wobbly there and it was like, oh wait, oh what, you know, people actually like that because it's real time and they're feeling engaged with you in that moment that, you know, what you're doing is actually, yeah, so the videos where you're walking along the street, you know, and the camera's going up and down, my videos are not great. I mean, where it's just my talking head, not good for engagement because it's just kind of static, but they still work. But the ones where you're real and authentic and you're on the go get a lot more engagement, so that's just good to keep in mind. And imperfection all the way. In fact, our most viral video ever was Marnie trying to say something and she slipped and said vagina instead of something else. and she just went, and we had that on Boomerang on replay and it went viral. People were sharing it over and over again. So people love mistakes and faux pas and all that kind of, that shows that we're real and we're human. So we've got 10 more minutes before break. We're going to just move through the secrets in the post-pandemic era. None of us are in the business that we think we're in. We are all in the business of marketing and selling. And the sooner we make peace with that, the better. I know it's hard, Christina, but, you know. She's just like... But that's why you're here, right? Now, this is interesting. The number one mistake that most businesses make is they're walking around trying to sleep with complete strangers. Sounds harsh, but it's very true. I just had someone pitch me on Facebook Messenger who I do not know from a bar of soap and ask me to work with her. Does she want me to help? Does she want her to help me get to 7 figures? I'm like, honey, first of all, you don't even know what I'm earning. You haven't done the research and, you know, we're already there, so thank you. But you're 15 years younger than me and that's lovely. But how about you get to know me first and figure out whether I need what you're offering? So this is what you need to learn to master as a business owner. It's called the customer value journey. Have we heard of it? It's so essential. So and I've put this here, it's the same as building a relationship. So you start out romancing someone, you find ways to get together, you know, that you build trust, then there might be sexual exploration if all the good stuff's there, then there's stability and so on. It's the same in marketing. You have to walk them through the different stages, make them aware that you exist and that they have a problem you can solve. Engage with them. Get them to subscribe to your community so that it's about nurturing the relationship and building a relationship with someone before you pitch anything to them. Then you eventually have brand advocates and referrals and promotions. So understanding this and learning how to do it in your business is really, really critical. Now, this is why, because at any one time, only 3% of people are actually ready to buy. So the rest are the majority are unaware that they have a problem. So if you show up on social media and say, hey, I've got this thing, buy, they're not even aware that they have a problem that you can solve. So there's a lot of stuff you need to do here in the form of content marketing, which I'll share, and social media to increase brand awareness and get people aware that they have a problem. Then they move down the funnel and they're problem aware. So now they're aware through your education that you've been giving them that there is a problem. And now they're like, oh, okay, I have a problem. I wonder what I need to do about that. So then they're problem aware and they're looking for solutions. This is where your compelling lead magnet comes in. So I'm going to talk about that. That's that wonderful thing that you give away for free in exchange for someone's contact details. That is it's value-led marketing. You're offering them something for free to get them on your email database so you can nurture the relationship, build the relationship with them. Then, now they're aware they have a problem, they're aware that there's solutions, and now they're considering, oh, what do I do? There's so many options out there. Who do I go with? And that's where you share value. You solve their problems for free. You do content marketing. You establish your trust and credibility, showcase your expertise. And then you pitch your irresistible offer in your red hot sales page, which we help you to develop. There's an art to developing powerful sales pages, but where you lead people through to an easy yes. So that's why this is important. So how do we do this at Fempire? Just to give you an example. We have a compelling lead magnet that is a business checklist for any woman who's wanting to validate and launch a business. We have a checklist, and we all love checklists, don't we? We want to make sure we're doing everything we need to do. It's like, yep, have I done that? Yes or no. So we tease them and we say, hey, you can get this checklist for free, sign up. So they sign up, and they're aware at this stage that they have a problem because they're building a business and they need to know how. So we then start nurturing them with emails, automatic emails that go out. When this is where your lovely virtual assistant will be really handy because they'll set up your lead magnet to go to your email database and trigger automatic emails that go out. Email number 1 saying, welcome, thanks so much for downloading the checklist. Welcome to Fempire, and this is some of the ways we can help you. And then CTA means call to action. So the call to action in the first one might be check out some of the reviews we've had from other ladies. Hope you enjoy your checklist. Second email that goes out a few days later. You want your audience to get used to seeing your marketing arriving in their inbox. So that I get it all the time, surprise emails where you're like, who is this person and how did I even get on their list? And then you just unsubscribe straight away. So you want them to get used to seeing your emails and registering who you are. So email number 2, share your why, because people want to know why you're doing what you're doing. Tell them why you're passionate, and then they're emotionally invested too. You might, and then do another call to action. Email number 3 and 4. So this is a nurture process of building the relationship. The next one, Kel. Then, once you've been nurturing them, then you make them product aware. It's like, hey, since you're interested in all this stuff, you might be interested in our business building bundle. It's only $49 and we give you worksheets, we give you registration process, we tell you everything, we walk you through everything you need to do everything on that checklist. And once someone is willing to pay a small amount of money with you, they call that shifting the relationship to a buying relationship. So up until now, they've been used to just getting free information, and all of a sudden they're willing to invest. They like what they see, so they're willing to invest $49. Then when they get value from that thing that you've given them with ours, it's 3 training videos and worksheets and checklists. So they're getting to see us. They're seeing that we can deliver value. Then at that stage, we say, right, if you've got value from this, you might want this, which is where we actually coach you in person coach in person privately. So then they're much more likely to invest in that because we've nurtured. But I would never pitch this to someone straight away. Do you know what I mean? Because they're just not going to want to, they're not interested. And then finally, yeah, they're ready, they're product aware here. So we just seed it. We just say, hey, we've got these options available for you. And then at the end, it's like, hey, are you ready to take action? This is how we can help you. Book in. Let's do it. So yeah, the second biggest, we've got 5 more minutes, the second big mistake most business owners make. Say you want to go to Hawaii. Who doesn't want to go to Hawaii? Even just Bali would be nice. But you are worn out, you need a holiday, and you want the beach, and the cocktail, for me, it's the cocktail by the pool. I just want that thing there, the cocktail by the pool. And then I go along to them and I say, I want to get to Hawaii. And they're like, great, we have the best aeroplane to get you there. It's a 747. It's got in-seat entertainment. It's got the best waitresses and stewardesses, and the staff are friendly. And it's just, and check-in's really easy. And you're like, I don't care about the aeroplane. I just want to get to Hawaii. So the question is, are you selling the aeroplane, the how, or the destination, the result? And majority of businesses get stuck, especially when starting out, on selling the how. You know, it's like, I've got an amazing coaching program. I'm going to help you with your business plan. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then, but they're like, why do I care? You know, it's because, you know, I need to tell them, because when you have all that stuff in place, you're going to get to profit faster. You're going to have a thriving business. It's going to be easier. You're going to have more structure. I need to outline the result that they're going to get. They don't really care how I'm going to get them there. They just want to know that I'm going to get them there. Yeah. So, and this is because, back to the brain thing, so there is what we call red brain, green brain. So the left brain, as we know, we often make jokes, oh, my husband's very left brain. It's all analysis, logic, facts, sequencing, mathematics, language, right? It's all the left. And then the right brain is creativity, intuition, feelings, imagination, daydreaming, arts. It's all the creative stuff. In marketing, you have to market to the emotion because we buy on it. We buy with emotion. And then, so have you ever had that moment where you've bought because you've just like, oh, I want that, I need that. And then you go and say, I really need that because then in 3 years' time I can do this, and then, you know, you start justifying why you've just bought that. But it's the emotion that makes us do that buying decision. So as a marketer, it is a skill you need to learn. I've personally had to learn it over I started in 2014, my own business. And so it is a skill you need to learn, but you can, it's just knowing how to speak and how to pitch things so that it connects at an emotional level with your audience, and not that hard when you know how. So your job is to find the emotional connection points with your potential client. So what are they struggling with and how do you articulate that? And the best way to get started, I always tell my ladies to start by asking, is this you? Does this sound like you? You're time poor, you're frustrated, don't have enough hours in the day, Would you like to? So then you say you would love to have someone in your business, talking about virtual assistants, someone in your business who can take all the admin and time-consuming tasks off your plate. A strong marketing presence without having to do all the work. So you're highlighting what they want. So on the next slide, I talk about your customers want to buy the transformation. So they want the after state. They're in a certain before state. They're at A. They want to get to B. And your job is to articulate how you can get them from A to B. Not how, that you will get them from A to B and what it looks like when they get there. And if they can make an emotional connection to that end destination, they will pay for the transformation. Now, we are going to break now for 15 minutes. And at break, I'm going to... Oh, Karen, are the books out there, lovely?
They're about to.
So, some of you already have a copy of Marnie's book, Out of the Closet. It's a business book for women. But if you would like a copy, they're out for sale on the table, $30. Great start for just stepping you through all this information I'm telling you. And I refer back to mine every now and then. It's just a great business book. So if you're wanting some inspirational reading, it's Marnie's story and what led her to creating Fempire and how she's grown her business from her closet. So she literally started in her closet. She has a photo of her with the ironing board and the iron in the background. All she had was a laptop and a desire to make a difference. And she maps out for you how you can take that seed of an idea and get it into a thriving, profitable business. Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Welcome back, ladies. Did you have a nice little break? Good chat. So, I'm going to introduce you now to the secret formula. But basically, I saw a great meme the other day, and someone, actually it was Tria, Fempire coach in Melbourne, said success is not from here to here straight line. Success is blah, 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 and then you get there eventually, right? So we have tried to bring structure to that blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so there's some elements in here that we know are essential to building the foundation of your business. And I'm going to step you through what they are and how you can navigate your way through them. So does anyone know this shape? Of course Adele does. Adele's in sacred geometry and energy work. And yeah, so this is Metatron's cube. It is sacred geometry. So it's a mathematical figure that contains all the shapes in the universe, all the possible conceivable shapes in the universe. So our business mastery formula fits into this, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to walk you through what it is. Next one. So I'm going to just step you through the different components of this, and then we've covered a lot of this already, which is the inner work that you need to do for the outer work to sustain itself. So a lot of the stuff we talked about up front, about your confidence, your authenticity, your mindset, that's the rock that holds all this together. And then I'm going to step you through what these strategic things are. This is more the tactical, tangible stuff you need to do. So clarity. First of all, we talked about how you need to get really clear on your business why. That's really, really essential to thriving in business. And then your vision, mission, and values. Thanks, Kel. So when you're talking about clarity and your target market, it's not okay to say my target market is males and females aged 0 and up. And I know that for some people it's counterintuitive that I can help everybody. My product or service works for everybody. And that's great, it probably does, but not everybody wants what you have. And it's about getting really clear on who are the people that I am here to serve. And it's counterintuitive, but the more narrow you can get and the more specific you can get, the better your business will do. Is that a hard concept to, yeah. It is, it's a tricky one, but if you can, I mean, I have learned that the hard way through trying things that have worked and haven't worked. And I see, and also when you get into the field of advertising and you try certain audiences and something works and others it doesn't, it is just so critical that you target your message to the right people. And so that's where the clarity comes in. So who's got, yeah, thanks, Kel. Who's got a target market that they're struggling to define in really specific terms? Yeah. So that's something, that we would love to help you with, because it's about, sometimes it's not about the demographic, so it's not necessarily women aged 50 and above, or it's not necessarily boys aged 18 to 30. It's about what their problem is. So we know that different demographics can have the same problem, right? So it's not always about the demographics, but it is about the problem that your market has and how you solve it. So you've got to get really clear on what the problem is that you solve, because the confused person never buys. I just love her face. Cracks me up every time. And I've had that look sometimes when someone's selling to me and I'm just confused. I don't get it. I don't understand. And then I bounce, especially online. If it's not clear to me within a few seconds what they're offering and why I should engage, then I'm out of there. We're all out of there. We're just too busy. We've got lives to run, and we need to, if it's clear and we resonate, so if there's that emotional connection that we talked about before, and it's clear, that's when we get engagement. So I'm always harping on about clarity and emotion. Marketing is all about clarity and emotion. Now, your audio logo is what you tell people when you're out and about and they say, so what do you do? The dreaded question. And you have to find a way to say this clearly and succinctly in less than 10 seconds in a way that people can go, oh, that's cool, tell me more. So it's a hook. It's not, you're not having to tell them everything you do. It's about being sharp and clear. So I say, I help women start and grow thriving businesses. And that's it. So if you can find, and then they say, oh, how do you do that? Then it's a conversation starter. Do I have any brave vampire ladies in the room that want to have a go at sharing their audio logo? Eva, yours is really good.
Go, Eva.
Oh, stand up, Eva. Come and. Oh no, you knew I'd put you on the spot. So.
It's all right. You know when you're working as a busy nurse and you're so busy running around taking care of everyone else that you have no time for you? Well, I fixed that. I need a story from you, the story of coaching, because nurses need nurturing too.
Yay! Well done, Eva. So, who understands what Eva does after that? Yeah, she's a coach for nurses. And is there anyone who would like me to help them workshop their audio logo? Is anyone stuck at telling people what they do? I know some of you haven't even started yet, so it's not even, you're not even there yet. But so I'm going to give you a formula that is going to help you if you're stuck. Oh, Amanda, did you? Oh, okay. So,
I had something arrive in my brain as I was walking from my car to here.
yeah.
You could try that one out.
Well, would you like to try? And we stand up and tell us, and we'll see if it's clear. No pressure.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm a professional carer for people, and I help families who are struggling with emotions and behaviour to transform their angst and chaos into clarity, connection and calm.
Nice. Okay. So, well done, Amanda, for being brave. And so, who understands what Amanda does? Yeah? 20% of the room? Okay. See, there you go. That's the power of a great audio logo. Someone suddenly says, can I have your business card? It's the best. So if someone connects with what you're needing, what you're offering. So this is the formula that will help you. Typically I work with, and you put in here your target market. So Amanda, you said, who do you work for? Busy professional?
Who are struggling with emotions and behaviour.
Right, okay. So who have the problem of, and then you put in your problem.
Families who are struggling with behaviour and emotions, I guess they came up with.
Yep, very good.
We've gone through so many other systems, and so it's really hard to narrow this is my problem,
Narrowing that down.
the core of how I work with them.
Okay. So this is the 3 steps if you want to have a clear audio logo. Typically I work with families who are struggling with behavioural and emotional problems. Okay, so that's the target market and the problem. And I help them to create, you said?
Transform with yoga and mindfulness
Mm-hmm.
and emotional intelligence. So I adopted that by just say transform their angst and chaos,
Yeah.
goes on in family life into connection, clarity and calm.
Yeah, I'm in. I mean, it works for me. I could do with that. So that's pretty clear. Yeah.
I'm only saying yoga mindfulness and the modalities that I do. because
Yeah, you don't need the how at that
there
point.
is relationship coaching as well. So there's a lot of that supports around.
Yeah.
So assuming that if that has piqued their interest, they're going to say, well, how do you do that?
Exactly.
And then you talk about the modalities from there, right?
Exactly. So when you spoke about households struggling with emotional problems and behaviour, and I help them create calm and, what did you say, connection. I mean, I'm already there. That's the transformation that I'm after. So that's really good. Adele?
Having already done that other portion of the course, I feel like this is one of the biggest hurdles that we come across.
Mm-hmm.
Actually spilling the veins in a very clear way. I don't know if anyone who with the old ones we did in the city.
Mm.
And Marnie gets us all to stand up on stage and just completely talk it. But the talking part makes you remember what you need to say.
Yeah.
So, and then I think also practicing that every day in front of a mirror is really important.
Yeah.
Because it gets in there, and then when you have to say it, it just like comes out.
That's right. Practice definitely makes perfect, and having a few different formulas that work in different situations helps too.
The elevator pitch thing that you tell us to do as well.
Yeah, for sure. So it is something you need to consciously practice, and as icky as it is, but I mean, the ladies that belong to District 32, we have a few of them in the room today. You have to get up every time and say who you are, and very clearly and succinctly. And it's just practice every time, and having different metaphors work really well. So I like to use the metaphor that I am either a rocket launcher, or I am a lighthouse helping women navigate the stormy waters of growing a business. So that can really help. A metaphor. Emma is the fairy godmother? No.
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins, that's right.
Mary Poppins is wedding and event planning.
Yes, and Eva is the oxygen mask. She's helping people put their oxygen mask on first so they can help others. So metaphors are really good at sticking in people's minds. Next, tagline. So this is, the little ours is obviously the future is female, but the tagline is the sentence that summarises the business that what your business is about, your essence. So Eva mentioned at the end, she mentioned her tagline, which was because nurses need nurturing too. So in one line, we know really clearly what her business is about. Using the word because is really powerful because they've done research. And they actually had studies where they had really busy queues in Officeworks. It was in America, so whatever the equivalent is. Someone rushing in from the street and saying, I'm really sorry, I need to jump in the queue. I've got to take my son to hospital, to the doctor. And people sort of say, so, get in the back, we're all busy too. But when they get the person to come in and say, I need to jump in the queue because my son needs to go to the doctor, suddenly compliance went up by 95% or something. It's really interesting, words and psychology, but the word because, yeah, so because nurses need nurturing too is a really powerful line. Does anyone else have because in there? Because your memories matter, exactly. And then, because your memories matter. Yeah, and then there's something about the word because you're just like, oh yeah, right, yeah, my memories do matter. And yes, nurses do need nurturing too. So consider trying to get that in your tagline if you can. Okay, so on the topic still of clarity, productization is I don't like the word, but it's what every marketer calls it. It's where you present your options in a very clear format. So going back to the cliche of the confused person never buys, it's about how can people work with you, and what's in, what's out, what are the three options, and how do they choose? Or having just one option means that it's a yes or no answer. So if someone, if you're saying to them, okay, so it sounds like you're ready to make a change, is that right? Yes. So here's the offer. What do you think? And then they're thinking, do I or don't I? Whereas when you present three options, you say, well, great, it sounds like you're ready to make a change, so here's the three ways you can work with us. And then in their mind, they're going, oh, which one works for me? Not, is it yes or no? And so by the time we're in a sales conversation and we get to that point, we should have hopefully already established that it's a good fit. If not, you're not having this conversation. But this should also be on your website as well, or any other digital information where it's clear to people, right, there's three ways that you can work with us, and here's the options, and here's the pricing. Whether you put the pricing on depends on what your business is. So that's a different conversation. But for most businesses, having the pricing on this table is a good thing. So, are we clear about clarity and how important it is? Who has a productization table that's really clear and for people to, Emma does now, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good way to kind of divide those, like a do-it-yourself lower price model, like a done with you, kind of like a hybrid, and then a done for you.
Yeah, so
break up the 3 tiers of this?
Yeah, so you might have 3 tiers of done for you and 3 tiers of done with you because they're different pricing brackets, yeah. So we do that too. Our training programs, we have one table, and for private coaching we have another table. So yeah, it's a good question.
Has their own table.
Yeah, so say someone's interested in working with you and they want the support, then you can just say, great, well here's our done for you packages. Go and check out which one you want. Yeah, so that's a good question. So you might have multiple tables. Yeah, that's correct, yeah. Okay, packaging. What is a brand? Who wants to answer that question for me? What is a brand? Mando? Mouthful.
Anyone else?
What is a brand? Jackie?
Isn't a brand what your customers say you are?
Bingo! Yes, your brand is your brand is everything your customer says it is. So it's not what we think it is, it's what people out on the streets are talking about your brand and what they're saying about your brand. Yeah? Sorry?
How do you find that out?
Yeah, good question. Well, when you're down the track and you have market data and you can actually research that. When you're starting up, it's impossible. But you can just, the great thing is when you get a referral from someone and say, oh, what did they tell you about working with me? And then you start getting an understanding what people are saying. Now, I've got this whale tail on here, not because I love whales, but I do actually love whales. So when you're packaging, so this is all about branding. We're talking about branding. We touched on it briefly earlier with my before and after branding. A whale tail, so when should you use a whale tail in your logo?
Can I say something? When I see that photo, I just think of deep dive, you dive in.
Yep. So, as Marnie would say, I'm sure a lot of you ladies have heard this before, but the only time you should use a whale tail in your branding or your logo is if you are a whale watching business or something to do with whales. So we get a lot of women coming to us and saying, now I want an angel in my logo because I love angels. And it's like, that's great, but does your target market love angels? And does it... Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
You can use mine as an example because I spent months
Yeah.
like a baby saying I wanted to have
A palm tree.
palm trees on my business card, and I've been to all of Marnie's things, and I remembered you can't have dolphins if you're not selling dolphins.
Yeah.
Or doing dolphin
Dolphin
tours, and I
watching.
Palm trees, hook by crook, I was stubborn as, and I even watched a palm wellness, and then somebody said, do you do palm reading? I said, definitely not. So chuck all that rubbish back, and I'm going to be doing some personal branding.
So Adele wanted a palm tree in her logo, and her business is about healing with a palm-held electronic sensory device that measures your body's energy flow. It's called the German Medical Science. German New Medicine. So would you connect a handheld medical device for your health with a palm tree?
But I had wellness in the palm of your hand, which
Yeah.
was my tagline, and my coach had said, yeah, that sounded good. So because I was running my way and she was trying to please me, I almost could have fallen prey to it, except I talked to Kate, and she said, definitely not. I don't like it. So you can be stubborn, she'll pull you out of your stubborn.
Yeah, so it's all, again, it's just about, you don't want that face that I showed you, the confused girl going, oh, it's like if you've got a palm tree and you're in health, what's the connection? So whatever your client, your target, your prospect sees, it has to make sense, it has to speak, it has to be clear what you're about, yeah? So if you are in the business of watching whales, go for it, put a whale tail in your business logo. On the topic of branding, just touching briefly on a good website, and there's so many reasons why you do need a good website in this modern era, predominantly because of getting found on the internet. So SEO, search engine optimization. People say, can I run my business without a website? You can, and some businesses do, but if people are actively searching for you on Google, they will never find you because Google runs off content on websites and they can't match people seeking your service with your service unless you have a website presence. So, next slide. That was a little bit on packaging. Positioning. So how do you position yourself in the market to stand out? So we talked about before how the market is super saturated at the moment. How do you stand out from the crowd? What is it that makes you unique? Lisa, you went through this journey because you're a Reiki master and you run Reiki workshops, and it was like, how do I stand out from the other Reiki masters and the other Reiki providers? And for you, it was that your point of difference was the intuition. You rely very heavily on intuitive Reiki. And so Lisa rebranded to become Intuitive Reiki International, and that's her point of difference. So it's about finding what is it that makes you stand out from your competitors. Oh, I'm just back on that one, did it? Oh, no, you're right. Yep, keep going. Thanks, Cal. Now, a lot of you will resist being a personal brand, not looking at anyone in particular, but a personal brand is a very powerful way to stand out, and as scary as it is to be the face and the name of your brand, it is the easiest way to get traction when you're starting, because no one else can be you. So it's easy to distinguish yourself as a personal brand. And people buy people. So yeah, when I refer clients to, Karen gets lots of clients because I say, you need to work with Karen. Not you need to go and do the body code, which is what Karen does, but I say you need to go and see Karen. So Karen went through the journey of stepping into personal brand 3 years ago. How did you find it?
Scary.
Yeah.
I was comfortable with my website, but mine thought it sucked. I told everybody it sucked.
But were you getting clients?
No. No. Well, actually, there was this gorgeous lady in the room that said, funny you should say that. Go tell the story, hon.
So 3 years ago, Karen and I were doing the Fempreneur program with Marnie together. I had just come back from 6 years overseas, and I had somehow come across the body code, the energy healing modality, and I had gone online and I thought I really want someone local, so I went online and searched for Body Code Perth, came across Karen's website, and when I landed on the website it said Dancing with the Angels, energy healing, body code, something, and I saw all the angels and she had a very scripty font, and I just suddenly went, I just didn't connect. I bounced. And I ended up getting sessions with a lady in the US. And then, so it was really interesting the way the universe works. Karen and I ended up sitting next together in the program. And we pulled up her website because we were doing the website critiques. And then it was this Dancing with the Angels body code. And I just said, I searched for you and I saw your website and I bounced. I just ran for the hills. And so because, firstly, I've got an example to show you Karen's website coming up, what it looks like now, but it is a world of difference, and it looks really professional. When you land on it now, you think, okay, I'm in good hands with this person. But Karen has since gone on the journey of personal branding. So.
And look, very, very powerful. All jokes aside, I have something to offer people, and I offer it because it's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can't own that, how the hell can I expect people to come to me, believe in me, and grow a business? So it was a case of put your big girl panties up, Karen. So I did.
And has it looked back? Exactly. So moving on.
I was just going to say that was lovely how you were talking about that and wearing the same outfit as
I know.
Did you realise that?
Oh, I know. Yes.
I didn't know if that was intentional.
It was definitely not intentional.
And I'm like, so that's a uniform then?
Pretty much. This is, and actually it's,
Yeah, that's what.
you can see I've gone red. That's exactly right, it's my outfit. Yeah. But that is funny. It is kind of my uniform. This is a bit my Fempire uniform. I said to Marnie this morning, I'm going to wear my Fempire black and white and grey. And she's like, yeah. And it's interesting. I do associate this outfit with my personal brand, yeah. Money, right, let's talk about money. So, the price you charge is directly related to your ability, to your brand credibility your confidence and your ability to sell. So we've talked about brand credibility and how having that professional image is so critical. You've got 3 seconds to catch someone's attention and keep it online. So if your branding doesn't look professional and tight, then you will lose people. Your confidence is another. So when women ask me, what should I charge? I always say, well, let's start with where your confidence level is at, because if you try and overreach that and sell at a price that's much higher than where you feel comfortable, your customers are going to pick up on that and they're not going to connect. And you have to feel really good about the price you're selling at. So when you say to someone, I charge $400 an hour, and you're right behind it, you're like, damn it, I am worth $400 an hour. You know, people pick up on that and they're like, right, okay, yep, don't question. But if they pick up on any doubt or hesitation, then they're like, you know, they're confused, they're not sure. And that's all at a subconscious level. So it's just about you owning whatever pricing you're starting at and feeling great about offering that price. The signal that you are charging too little is when you start feeling resentful. So you're doing all this work and you're not feeling the return financially. Then you know it's time to put your prices up. And then you'll probably go through an uncomfortable phase while you grow into the new pricing. But yeah, you've got to, you know, once you get the confidence that people are willing to pay with what you're charging, then you get the confidence to put it up and up over time. But you can't outprice yourself as well. We have had some ladies, you know, put their pricing up too much and people stop buying. So because there has to be a perceived value as well. So it's about keeping your pricing what the market's willing to pay for and what you're worth. So just asking the question, are you undercharging? Does anyone feel they're undercharging at the moment for their service or product? Wow! Amazing. Good. So we can move on. Yes?
How much has the current environment that we have been in impacted on, and how, okay, no, rephrase the question again. How much should we allow or be conscious of such a situation we've come out of when it comes to us pricing our services or our products or whatever?
Yeah, so COVID was tough, as we all know. Small businesses did it hard, and we had to lower our pricing significantly last year, and we have only recently just put it up again. And it is a constant. I think you need to sound out and test with people what they're willing to pay. But you've experienced, Karen, you went high again, and then you've pulled it back again, right? Because you just sensed the market wasn't willing to pay that. So it is a bit of sounding out and trialling, and yeah, you'll know pretty soon enough whether the market's willing to pay. But we have definitely noticed that economic times are not booming right now. People are doing it tough, and so yeah, you definitely have to adapt and accommodate that. Yeah.
But then you're not wanting to be changing it all the time either.
No, but I think yeah,
Make it a selling point. I mean, ultimately, you don't say to your audience, I know times are tough, and just for this small amount of time, just to help you sell it, it's a sell job.
Yep.
And then flick it back up. You don't have to tell them when you put it back up.
No, that's right.
You need to make it, the message is you are helping people.
Yep.
And make that the big deal. And when it's times are great again, just pop the price.
Exactly, and you don't have to tell people, because usually people coming in, they're new customers, and even we do honour old pricing though for those that have been with us on the journey. So we do suggest you do that in most times, because if you sold something to someone at a certain package, I personally honour that pricing going forward, just because of the relationship I have, and plus what do they call that? Reselling to existing customers is so much more beneficial for your business than trying to spending money to bring in new leads. So honour those clients that want to keep working with you. Yes, it's a whole question, the pricing thing. Packaging it up is another great thing. So if you do one-on-one sessions, it's great to sell bundles of 3, 6, 10 and give a reduction to give people an incentive to stay on, to buy more and spend longer with you, rather than you having to do the transaction over and over again. So packaging works really well for most of our businesses. Okay, so now we're on to promotion. So this is the final one on the outer circle, but it's a big one. So I'm going to run through some 3 essential strategies on the next slide. Thanks, Gil. 3 essential marketing strategies. So we have to be doing these, well, advertising is not something we recommend you do until you're in the profit phase, until you're breaking even and you're bringing cash in that's surplus to your business needs. We recommend you work on these 2 to get your business off the ground in the beginning, unless you are fortunate to have some cash you can inject into advertising. So paid digital marketing campaigns can be really expensive, $1,000 and up a month. So that's something that's great and gets good returns for your business once you're generating profit. But before you get to that point, it's about getting found on the internet when people are searching for your product or service. So SEO again. We call that inbound marketing. So that's where you're drawing people to your business through Google searches. So they've got a wedding and they're searching for wedding decor, they would hopefully find Emma's business. Then you've got, so this is really important, getting found on the internet. So SEO is a big topic that we haven't got time to get into today, but outbound marketing is everything you push outwards. So social media, blogging, any content marketing that you do. And that's about building brand awareness, establishing credibility and establishing yourself as a leader. It's about telling people what you do on a regular basis and educating them and moving them up the buyer's journey. And then advertising. But they all feed into the customer value journey. So say someone finds you on social media, you want to be able to start nurturing them and moving them along the customer journey to the point where they're ready to buy. Thank you. Where is the best place to hide a dead body? Page 2 of Google search results. So that's just to highlight the importance of SEO and spending a little bit of money, if you can, on getting the experts to set up the back end of your website with correct keywords and making sure that you're matching the words that you put in. So you've got the front end of your website, which is all the text and everything that people see. Then you've got the back end, which is the keywords that you put into the back end of your website that Google can find. So Google is always trying to match keywords with keywords. So if someone's searching Reiki WA, and then they're looking for the best matches to match Reiki WA. I think that's all we have got time to say on that. Essentials that you need on your website. So let's get into that. Here's Karen's new website. Oh, she just left the room. Oh, so this image actually moves. When you land on her website, it's the waves crashing on the beach. And so when you land, it's like, oh, it always makes me take a deep breath when I land on her website. And then simple messaging. So we're talking about here powerful branding and messaging. And it's amazing how hard it can be to get that power in your branding and messaging, but this is her tagline, healing from within. So you kind of know straight away what she's about, and there's an emotional connection. Next one, Kel. This is Etta May again, so with the tagline where you're, can you just flick back, Kelly? I know, it was static, sorry, but yes, I did tell them it moves, but we're talking about powerful branding and messaging. So this is Emma's, again, wedding decor, where your memories matter. So this is about people who actually want to create a wedding where they want to preserve their memories. Next we have Emma, bespoke styling and acquiring. So her brand is all about passion, personality and authenticity. And her tagline, creating spaces with heart, soul and a story. So instantly you get a feeling that she's about floof and beautiful. that's She loves making spaces look beautiful, and she's passionate, and her brand is about personality and authenticity. Emma's been on quite the rebranding journey, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been pretty intense, but extremely worth it.
Yeah.
And really got to know my business and what meant what to me. It was amazing just to, you think you know it, and to be challenged on it can be really confronting. But when you come out the other end and the product or whatever you put out is just so much more heartfelt and authentic because you've done that hard work and it's really uncomfortable and you sort of think, get the wobbles and but to sort of be able to work through that, it just leads to a much stronger belief in yourself and a belief in what you're doing. And yeah, it was, as I say, quite full on and quite confronting, but definitely worth the tears and the angst and the wobbles to sort of come out and really be able to just sort of walk that little bit taller. And it's easy to talk about what you do when you've done that work. Really much work.
Yeah, and how simple that sentence is, but it just, and that was something you actually said at one point. You were in conversation, we were talking, and she does a blah, and I said, I think you just said creating spaces with heart, soul, and a story. And she said, yeah, that's what I do. I said, how about that for your tagline? Sometimes it's stuff that you're already saying, but you haven't kind of made the connection. That would be a really great message for my brand. Next, so this is Eva, building confident and empowered nurses and nurse leaders. And that took quite some reflection to get that, didn't it? But when you get it out, it's like, oh yeah, it makes complete sense. But just get that whole journey of getting there is, it's fun.
I was trying to do too much, I think. I had too many different messages going on, which took me a while to kind of unpick that.
Yeah.
Refocus it. So definitely worth
Yeah. Yes, Karen?
I'm realising as I'm seeing some of these other gorgeous websites, we talk about being challenged to step into a personal brand. Creating a website is probably as challenging because you're still putting yourself out there. And you ask all the big questions. So if you don't go through all this, putting your own name on it is almost because you've done the work.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's quite powerful. I
Yeah.
didn't realise until I started seeing all these awesome things. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Yeah. Stepping out and being seen. Oh, this is Kelly's. See that emotional reaction?
Yeah.
That's what you want.
I'd seen it somewhere in social media. Do you remember me saying that?
Yeah.
That's the power of a really great image because I remembered, I love a picture of you with your family, and that's it. I just didn't know where I'd seen it. No.
So that reaction is exactly what we want. If someone lands on your website, we want them to go, oh, yeah. And then the clarity, hopefully it's clear what Kelly does, yeah? Classes, cakes and more. Teaching and baking is a work of heart. Another tagline that she had on her vision board. We were doing her brand visioning and she had that on there and she was like, I can't think of a tagline, I don't know. And I said, it's right there, it's right. She's like, oh, yeah. So sometimes it is right under your nose and you just haven't, made the connection.
And that teach, bake, love, I'm hearing eat, pray, love.
Yeah.
You know, it just has that flow to it. Again, animation. Stunning work.
Yeah, she's done well. Okay, so we're back to the essentials you need on your website, a clear call to action. So tell people what you want them to do. What is the action you want them to take? You have to tell them, otherwise they won't take any action and your website is just a pretty brochure. So get clear, what do you want them to do? Here it's book a free discovery call. Next slide is also, this is mine, not sure where to start, let's chat, apply for a free discovery call, apply now. Next one is Lisa's, book a Reiki workshop. So she's saying we offer in-room online Reiki workshops, book. So she's telling people what action she wants them to take. Next, number 3, essential on your website is a capture opportunity. So this is essential so that people stay connected with you and your brand. You get them onto your email database and you can start nurturing like I showed you in the beginning. Who in this room hates pop-ups? You'll have to get over it. Because they actually work. And as much as we hate them, they are effective in building your email database, especially if you're hitting a nerve that if someone sees how to start and grow your wildly successful business, you want them to say yes and download it and make it easy for them. So the next one is Eva's download my free ebook, 10 strategies to help you as a nurse leader. So if you're struggling as a nurse and you're stressed and you see this, you're like, oh, give it to me, please, yes. Next one if you're in a product business or photography even, giving a percentage off a first order can be a great capture opportunity, giving people some incentive to stay connected with you and your brand so that they go into your marketing funnel. Now, your contact information needs to be really clear as well. So this is number 4 of the essentials. So some people like to just submit a form, so you give them space where they can submit a form. This is Lisa's again. Or you must have a physical phone number and a physical address for people to know that you're a real person and a real business. So I know it can be... That's okay. Oh, you've got your face everywhere else. But having a real phone number, people get really scared about putting their personal number out there. But I've had mine on there for years, and the number of spam calls I get is fairly insignificant. So yeah, it is. Rather than if you're a larger business, then a 1-800 number can be great. But otherwise, if you're a sole trader, knowing that it's a person behind the brand can be really good for people to want to connect with you.
Can I ask, do many people have a separate phone for their business and stuff, or do you wish it was the same?
My husband wishes I did, but I don't.
Yeah.
Because I was just wondering, because it's a bit hard sometimes when you're using that, or you're working from home. It's like, do I put my residential address or what? Because I don't have a PO box.
Right. So, yeah, mailboxes. Yeah. So I highly recommend that all of you, if you don't already, get a mailbox, which is different to a PO box, but it's a city address, which is Google recognises it as a physical street address, so you can register your business. So my outward facing, if you land on Kate de Jong Fempire, you'll see that my address says Suite 2, 50 St George's Terrace, which is just a mailbox that I have in the city. It's not a... I know, but I am. Rather than having my residential address on them.
Gorgeous river view or something.
Yeah, but you pay something like $300 and something a year to have a mailbox, and it's a physical location that Google will allow you to register. Google will not allow you to register a PO box, but a mailbox they will.
So you can just organise that through your local post office?
Yeah, I highly recommend MBE in the city. Is that who you go? Yeah, great guys there. So they'll look after you if you need a mailbox. MBE. They do printing and mailboxes and everything. Yeah.
Do you need that to have Google My Business?
Yes.
You need that
You can use your home address and you can keep it unlisted so that the public doesn't see it.
Right.
But it is good outward facing to show that you have a proper physical address. Yeah.
Do you think though it just too depends on the business? Like
Yep.
a lot of my clientele might look at St George's Terrace and
You can get...
Just in terms of if anyone was confused thinking...
You could get a Karen Up mailbox if you wanted to.
Yeah, sort of just something that was,
mine would see my suburb and go, oh, because where I live is nice, don't get me wrong, but my suburb has a bit of a dodgy reputation and it wouldn't match my target audience. So
Yeah.
I don't want to have my suburb associated with my
Yeah.
You can go to MBE anywhere and they're all over.
Yeah.
Exactly right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't have to be...
No, it doesn't have to be in the city.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or tell them where you want your box and they'll...
Yeah.
Oh, sweet, okay.
Yeah.
I'll definitely look into it. I'm glad I asked.
Yes, that's a good tip. All right, so... is it still alive? So we were back to email marketing. Oh, I wonder what's going on. It's asleep somehow. We were talking, it's been waking up, hasn't it, along the way? We were talking about email marketing and how important it is to have a database. So when you've got your compelling lead magnet and people sign up and you have that nurture sequence, at the very least, just have a welcome email. Thanks for downloading your checklist. This is all about, you can tell them a bit about your business, and then just a single automated email is great. But if you have the time, and we highly recommend you get that nurture sequence happening just to get people used to, there we go. Email marketing is a whole thing we unpack in Fempreneur, but it's a whole, and we just suggest that if you have an email database that you talk to them regularly and just let them know how your business, oh, beautiful. We're back. So I think we were back a slide, were we? Okay, yeah. Keep an eye on your competitors. Competitor research is really important, just to know what your competitors are up to, what they're doing, how you're different. So the next slide, I think, is the facebook.com ads library. If you haven't looked at this before, you can search your competitors that you know of and just see what they're doing. You can see all the ads that they've been running. You can get stats on them. All this information is publicly available if you go to the ads library. And the reason we suggest that you keep an eye on your competitors, it's, you know, they help us to stay innovative and creative, and they help to inspire us and do things better and differently. And sometimes it's just really comforting to see that we're doing really well, you know. But the ads is a great way to see what your competitors are doing. You can see what their engagement has been on their ads and so on. Yes, rather interesting. Now, when it comes to social media and promoting your business, it's important to just know what do you want to achieve and how are you going to get there. So rather than just doing social media for social media's sake, it's about what is my intention, what is my goal with being present online. Am I trying to grow my database? Am I trying to get leads and get them onto discovery calls? And you might be doing both of those things, but getting clear on what is my goal, because it's back to that whole energy flows where intention goes, and just getting clear on what am I trying to achieve with my marketing efforts here. So just understanding, okay, what am I trying to achieve by showing up online? There has to be an end game, there has to be a call to action. So we usually say, show up with 80% value, just giving value 80% of the time, and sell and pitch 20% of the time, as a general rule of thumb. Be real and authentic, like we were saying before. People are craving that raw authenticity, not the polished and perfect. Don't preach, tell stories. So talk about, I was working with a client in Paris, of all places. Thanks to Karen, who put me onto a gorgeous girl who's a fashion stylist in Paris. And she has a massive story to tell. It's quite mind-blowing, but she wasn't telling it. And she was really struggling in business. And when the more I started learning about her, I said, have you told anyone about this? And she said, oh, no, it's quite personal. And I said, it is personal, but you don't need to tell the details of what's happened in your life. But people want to know when they connect with your brand that you get them, that you've been there, that you understand, that you're empathetic. And so now she's told this story, and she's come out on video with it, and suddenly everyone's like, oh my God, I didn't know that, and that's incredible. And now they want her services because she's dared to be vulnerable and share her story. So it's very important. Emojis, I know they can seem childish, especially for us older generation, where we didn't grow up with social media and emojis. But they actually, it's back to the green red brains that I showed you in the start. They have an emotional impact, so they do work, and use imagery and video where possible. So, essential social media strategies. This is I know we're running out of time, so I just am going to touch on this quickly. So there's, as you know, so many different platforms, and one of the things that I give away as a lead magnet is which social platforms are best for your business, and just understanding what all the different platforms are and how they're different from each other. So on the next slide, I would just show that some of the stats. I know this is death by statistics, but basically I just want to highlight that Facebook's still by far the largest usership worldwide. Instagram, less than half. Twitter, less again. Actually, YouTube is right after Facebook in terms of total number of users. So video, that's just a testament to the fact that video is the future. I love YouTube. And so that one's right up here. Then we've got Instagram. Then we've got LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is growing.
It sure is, because I'm on the front page with LinkedIn.
Yeah. If you're in a professional services business, it's the place to hang out and get clients, probably for you, Marie, isn't it? Yeah. And it depends. I mean, for personal trainers, not so much, right? It's more social media and more Facebook and Instagram and so on. But LinkedIn has the best organic reach of any platform. So if you post something on LinkedIn, it gets seen, whereas in Facebook and Instagram, it gets drowned out. But so if you're a professional service, you've got to get on the LinkedIn bandwagon. And Pinterest is great for growing your email database. That's how I grew my list originally. That's a whole rabbit hole that we can take you down if you come coaching with us and it's something that is going to build your brand. But Pinterest is great for visual businesses like wedding decor, like travel, like anything that's visually, and it's actually really powerful for coaching as well. And Upself would be powerful too. So moving on, it's all about where is your target market spending their time. So if your target market is 15 to 25-year-olds, they're going to be on Snapchat or TikTok. They're not going to be on Facebook. Do you know what I mean? So it's just about figuring out where are they hanging out and where should I spend my time. So social media is all about engagement. Again, they want to see and experience the real you. They're trying to figure out, do I know, like, and trust this person? So this is where video, reels, stories is important. So I have yet to embrace the reels thing. I'm resisting that a lot. Does anyone, I mean, some people have great success with reels. Anyone doing reels well? Yeah, you're good, yeah.
It's been the last, I'd say, the last 3 months that reels have really taken off as my main
engagement
than stories and static posts. Like
so what kind of reels do you do, Tracy?
But it doesn't need to, it can just be short videos.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't need to be the pointing and the banners and like the boomerangs. It can just be short, like I'd share a self-care tip of the day.
Perfect.
They could just be short, sharp, inspirational quotes, videos, even like an interview, like a short little interview with someone else if you don't feel comfortable just being one-on-one all the time.
And they call that micro content, so which is, everyone wants micro content, anything less than a minute. Anything longer, we just don't have time, we're too busy. So it is the place to showcase micro content. Just like what I did with that Facebook video, it took literally 30 seconds, didn't it, to just go, hey, you know, we're here. And that's all you need to do. And the impact of that is really significant. So, Jackie.
Sorry, I was just going to say, the other thing about Reels is that Instagram pushes them quite, so your reach is amazing. Like
yes.
Like thousands of people seeing that within the first 10 minutes of you actually posting it, which is better than like a whole
stories and posts.
Ways of actually getting out there and reaching people.
That's exactly right. Have you had good success with Reels?
Yeah, I've had a couple for my skincare business. I did a couple of those and I've had really good results.
Yeah. Instagram's trying to get more people using Reels, so they're boosting exposure and visibility now, which is great. So yeah, if you can get on early, because it's a, what do they call it, an emerging trend. Yeah. Hashtags. So hashtags are all about getting found on social media. So it's about, people follow hashtags. So hashtag skincare, for example, and then their news feed fills up with content on skincare. So it's like SEO for social media. So it's, when we want to get found on the internet, we need to do SEO and use keywords. When we want to get found on social media, we use hashtags.
Do you use hashtags on Facebook?
Not so much, no. It's more Instagram and Pinterest and Twitter nowadays is hashtag driven, but Facebook, it doesn't really rely on. Facebook is not a search engine so much, but Instagram is more, do you know what? Yeah, it's the search function that they use for. So content marketing is value-led marketing. So this is where you're giving people value and showing up and giving them helpful information to build trust and confidence before selling. So you've got to share your expertise. You've got to tell people what you know so that they can trust you enough to want to continue on with you. Now, content marketing, people say, what is that? Well, it's just using content. So what is content? You can create a blog or a video or a podcast. Anything, content is just anything you put out there in the world that you've created. So blogging, videos, podcasts are what we call long-form content. They take high effort, so you don't do them very often. So maybe if you did a blog once a month, you'd be doing great. So you put quite a bit of effort into that, and you do it less frequently. But the great thing is you can take that and turn it into short-form content. So infographics, short-form videos, blogs. And then, so down here we've got low effort and frequent. So, but it's great if you have some structure around your social media, and that's something we unpack for you in Fempreneur, is how do you structure out your content so that you are educating and moving your audience up the customer value journey. So how to quickly and easily get maximum leverage out of your content, it's all about repurposing. So if you would take the time to put that effort in once a month to create a blog or a video, and then you get maximum leverage out of it. So on the next slide, I show you how you can take one blog or one video, one podcast, and turn it into, ta-da! And this is where virtual assistants come in. And actually, I do that with my girl in the Philippines. I just say, here's the blog, here's the video, go and do your thing. And she does all of this. Because this is time consuming, and most of us don't have time to be doing that. But for $10 an hour, it's a great investment to have someone else doing that for you, because if you're going to the effort to create this, you may as well spread it as far and wide as possible and get more people seeing, and it's about getting more people into your funnel and moving them down the customer value journey. So now we're on to selling, which is, I thought, yes, we had one more piece to go. So selling, ladies, on the next slide. We don't mind being sold to, we just hate being sold to poorly. And can anyone relate? How icky it is when someone's trying, like I was talking about the Facebook Messenger and people pitching you and they don't even know you, and it's just think, oh, please, it's really uncomfortable. So yeah, stop selling and start serving. So this is where you can make the great mindset shift, and this is where today, I'm going to be telling you shortly about the upcoming Fempreneur program, and it's easy to drop into, I hate selling, but it's no, there are women in this room that need what I have to offer, so it's about me telling them how I can help them, So it's getting out of the mindset of, I'm selling, and into how do I show up and serve? How do I serve the people I'm here to serve? So people are always just wondering, do I know, like, and trust this person? And will their product or service work for me? So that's all they want to know. These are the reasons people don't buy. So we've talked about the confused buyer. They don't value what you're offering, and some people just don't. And again, that comes back to your why. So your job is to do business with those who believe what you believe. So those who believe what you believe will value what you're offering. They might not be convinced it will work for them. They might not believe they can do it. So quite often it comes to a lack of belief on the customer's behalf in themselves. It might be money beliefs, they might not trust you, and the timing just might not right, and that might not be right. That's quite often the case, which is why it's important to have the database and to keep nurturing your prospects so that when they are ready, they're in your orbit, and so they can buy from you. I have had a lady turn around after 3 years and say, I've been following you for 3 years, and I finally want to get coaching. So, it's paid off, all that email marketing that I do, it does work, over time. It's just because she started up here being problem unaware, and she's just sort of moved down, and it's about timing. Now she's ready to take action.
Excuse me, Kate. Have you got time for me just to share one quick thing?
Yep.
With regards to that?
Yep.
Before I started working with Fempire, just a little bit, I was just servicing anyone who came to my business, and I had no idea how that was affecting the overall system I was running. And then when I got clear with what my ideal client actually looked like, they were easy to work with. They didn't question any of the things. It was a very smooth process. And it's not until you actually get your head around the ideal client and how easy they are to work with. Some people are not your ideal client, so somebody else can service them. And somebody else will work really well with them because maybe they're too high or too low, and your vibration is about blah blah blah. Yeah. So whatever you want, your ideal client is so important. Well, that was it's the foundation of everything, correct? Yeah. And you've got a lot of people that are fun to work with instead of being hard work. Yes, we all know the clients that are hard to work with, don't we? Okay, so selling is easier with a clear structure and process, and I've personally found this really helpful. Just understanding how to sell. Like, how do I frame up a sales conversation? So that's something we unpack for you. And just back to people by people, I just wanted to plant the seed of networking, because it is so important that when you're selling, quite often, especially when you're getting started, getting out and networking is where you're going to get those first sales and the first
business, I mean, you've experienced the power of networking in recent months. And it's just going from one thing to another, isn't it? Yeah. Beautiful. So, moving on. This was for the e-commerce ladies, and this, don't worry about the detail here. Just suffice to say that selling online, there is a system and a process that we would unpack for you in Fempreneur. It's not, we don't have time to do it here, but it's basically, it looks complicated, it's not really. Again, it's just about having the digital infrastructure in place to make that happen automated for you. Okay, so are we ready to hear about the Fempreneur Business Mastery Formula? Yeah! Okay, so this is and we're actually really on time. This is great. So this is the program that many ladies in this room have done. It's from Stuck to Success in 6 weeks. So Kelly, you've done this recently, haven't you? Yes. That's correct, yeah. So who is this program for? It's established business owners, startups. You might have an idea, but you don't know how to launch, or MLM and franchise businesses. Basically, you're success obsessed and you want to know, how do I get there faster? So we work with our 12-step business mastery formula. Now, the first first week and a bit, we really take a deep dive on this stuff. And even for those of you who've done a lot of personal growth work previously, which I know a lot of you have done, there's still more to uncover, isn't there, Kel, when you do this? And you've done this twice now, or Karen's done it 3 times over and still discovering. So it's, we're all on a journey. And we discover different things at different times, yeah. So the purpose of this part is it's that clarity piece. It's taking a deep dive. It's the tears, isn't it, Emma? But you get to the clarity that you need. So, yep, we're all onions, just peeling back the layers, yep. And we're all evolving as well. So here's some testimonials from the program, but I thought, Eva, maybe you could tell us your experience with Fempreneur, since you did it when? A year ago?
It will be.
Could you mind coming up here just and... So, because your testimonial is up there. So you did the 6-week online program.
I did do the 6-week online program, and I think before I did that program, I was actually really quite lost with what I was doing, and I was suffering from that all things shiny and going down rabbit holes with the latest thing that you're supposed to be doing, and kind of realised that my business wasn't going anywhere at that time and I wasn't getting the interest, but I didn't actually know how to fix that. And I did the 6-week course, and as Kate says, it's a real deep dive into understanding you as a person, understanding what you're setting out to do, and you have to put the work in. I'll be honest about that. To get the most out of it, you do have to put the work in. It's very well worth doing, and the networking and the people that you meet and the great coaches, I think, was what I took away from that 6-week course. It certainly changed my life and my approach to my business. And I guess importantly, helped me to see blind spots and things that I perhaps hadn't seen before. So I took a lot away from the 6-week course and then signed up to work.
Yeah, you've been coaching with us for...
So I've been coaching since then, and my journey's still growing. I'm still learning things. So yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Eva. Thank you. Alrighty, so you get me. So this is a program that I run. This is my little posse of ladies that I nurture through the 6 weeks, and I will be giving you step-by-step training. You get access to our online platform where we have the step-by-step. So it's self-learning in your own time, and then you get 3 private sessions with me in week 2, week 4 and week 6, and that's where the magic happens, would you say, Sharon? So Sharon did Fempreneur with us and I coached with you, and the private coaching, I think, is where you get, so it's the translation of the learning, the knowledge into what that means for in your business.
We wrote my website in one of those coaching sessions.
Yeah. Get shit done.
it up and you do the work together.
Yeah. And yeah, they're half-hour sessions, but you'll be amazed what we can do in half an hour. I can rewrite your website. Yeah. So it is. So while it is a self-study program, every week we have on the next slide I'll show you, we have a live, so you get video, you get access to the platform, you work your way through it, but there's content for week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6. We meet, on the next slide, Kel, every Wednesday for a live Q&A. So with the group of women that you're doing the journey with, we meet, we discuss the content, anything that's come up that you don't understand or how to apply it in your business. We learn from each other, we build connections and relationships, and a lot of the women that are in these groups end up being lifelong friends. I know, look at how gorgeous is that? That's Mabel. Mabel the dog quite often joined us. That was hilarious. Rebecca went to the bathroom and Mabel jumped on her chair. It was so cute. So yes, we meet to discuss the content every week so that you can apply it in your business. You get a full workbook which becomes your Bible. Still refer to it. So who would like one of these? Yay, come on the program, you can have it. And you get the sisterhood, and hopefully you've seen this morning that the Fempire Sisterhood is... Yeah, you're there.
With our little youngest member in there?
That was Olive.
Oh, she's too gorgeous.
So we do business, but we do have fun as well. Okay. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of the videos from there, and I'll be sitting at my desk or I'll be talking to a customer, and sometimes I think, oh, I can hear Kate's voice in my head. And just becomes a different way of thinking. You're not just there in those half an hours or on those videos. You've taken those messages away and they will actually pop up at those times where you might need a little push or you might be,
That's lovely to hear that you've that our voice has been in your ear. That's really good.
Speaking to a client and I'll hear Marnie go, nah.
Yep, exactly. Well, that's good. Sisterhood. So the program starts October the 16th. That's actually a Saturday, but you get access to the online platform on the Saturday, and then we do the first live Q&A on the Wednesday. After that, I've got all the dates up the back, the dates of the Q&As. So yeah, the Q&As are in the morning, and then it's a 6-week program. You pop out the other end feeling, good about your business. So this is actually Lisa's husband wrote this testimonial. Yeah. Yeah, and Remy Watkins. I want to thank you for giving me back the girl I married. So the program is good from as we said, helping you feel really good about yourself in business, and then the tactical stuff to match that. More, Sharon's is there, but yeah. So, but Sharon, you've obviously had a great experience with Fempreneur, and what would you say is the biggest thing you got out of it?
I think I like the structure, because you're always doing random stuff in your business, but I like that it took you through, and I'm like, I've written to go back to my workbook as well. And my business has changed, since I started, I've actually done an actual health coaching course, and learned how to blend the two, so I think they are always evolving.
I saw that I had a sneak peek in your websites under construction. So another evolution. Yeah, it's great though, evolving again to the next level. Yeah, beautiful. So it is the structure, as we said. We step it out for you, what to do in what order, and so on. So you're probably thinking by now, would you just tell me how much it is? So the ladies that used to do the in-room program, which was 3 days in-room, it was $2,999. That's what I paid. That's what we paid. Sharon, you paid that too. No, we didn't get to go in room. But the online experience, we've had ladies say, so you actually got 6 private coaching sessions, didn't you?
Doing it at home.
Yeah. And then you got the private coaching to support that. And so in the the new program, you get 3 sessions, which we found is a really good balance. And I think we've had ladies do it both in room and then online. Julie Regali was in room with us, and then, and then she was online, and she said, oh, online was so much better because she could digest things at her own pace, whereas in room, there's stuff, and if you're just not quite understanding the terminology or the jargon, it can go over your head. But being able to digest it in your own pace and then having a coach to talk it through is a great combination. Would you say, Janie, you've done it recently?
Yes, I found it. I'm not sure that I would have actually been able to cope with 3 full-on days because I get to a point that I know the way I learn. And the way I learn is, oh yeah, I've totally got that while you're explaining it to me. Then I go away and think, what on earth was that all about? So that online experience meant that I could absorb it whilst I was watching the class and the coaching, and then I could go away and just kind of digest it and go back to the workbook. And it meant that, at 12:30 at night when I couldn't sleep, I would get up and fiddle around on my workbook. And that just cemented that information.
Yeah, beautiful, yeah. Okay, so what is it? How much is it? It's now, as the online 6-week program, $1,499. It's like buying that dress that you paid $600 for and you go back and see it's half price, isn't it, Sharon? Yeah, it's amazing value. So, and this is our offer to the world during post-COVID because we know times are tough, but we want you ladies to have this information and to get this knowledge to make your businesses thrive. If you want to put a deposit down today and do a payment plan, completely possible. So we just ask that you put $99 down so that I can give you a call tomorrow and we talk through whether it's a good fit for your business, and then we figure out a payment plan that's going to suit you. Now, for the first 2 women that take action, we've got the door prize that I'm going to draw in a minute. But I'm going, for the 2 ladies that say, yes, I'm in, I am going to throw in a free strategy session with me on top of the 3 sessions you get in the program. Who's ready to take action, ladies? Come on. Do we have any women who are ready to back themselves?
I want to, but I'm currently doing a course at the moment.
Yep.
Which is going to take me to the end of the year. It's a 12-week photography sort of thing.
Wow.
And so I really, really want to do this, but I don't know if I have the capacity to do it right now.
Right, okay.
That's my issue.
Okay, so in that situation, you can put a deposit down and I'll secure this pricing for you because Marnie tells me it's going up next year. Yay, go Marie! Oh, and you get your private coach, you get the, Adele, yeah, go Adele. Thanks, Marie. Do you want to go down the back and the ladies will help you just put your deposit down? Grace?
I want to, but I'm already on the 3 sessions. Is that, should I pay for that or wait until I finish the 3 sessions with you?
So how about we have a conversation about what's the best fit for you? So I can give you a call tomorrow and we figure out, do we roll those sessions over into this or do we, so either way. So what I was going to say on the next slide is 3-day cancellation policy. So if you put a deposit down and you decide it's not for me, I will give your money back. So there's no risk. And the next money back guarantee as well. So when you do the program and you find it doesn't deliver results, we will happily refund your money. Sorry?
I bet you've never had to use that.
Not yet, no, thankfully. No, we haven't.
I'm like so in.
Oh, I know, Amanda. You've been on the journey, haven't you? Yeah.
Well, I've actually got to get through a pretty big block with online learning as well because I'm just coming out of a digital marketing program and I've got lots of pieces in place, but a lot of things
You need the private coaching to. Yeah.
I just don't do the work.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting down and prioritising.
Yeah. That's where you need the coaching, Amanda. So we'll keep moving through.
That's where, sorry, Kate. So that's where I found the payment plans worked for me because it's, especially with someone who's got their own business and you're not earning as much as hubby and you don't want to use hubby's money and that sort of thing. So having that payment plan going, oh, it's not like big lamp with all the
I know,
lights.
yeah.
It kind of was,
Kelly, I
helps it out.
totally agree because
Oh, see you, Trey. Yeah. Enjoy the vaccinations.
So I was just going to say, I totally agree with that, Kelly, because for me, even though it's a cracking price, it was a massive investment.
Yeah.
I was not working, I was doing a few days of relief teaching, and I knew it was something worth doing, and I only had a nugget of an idea. I didn't even have an existing business, so for me it was a really big risk. But the reward has been amazing. Since I was in the same group as Eva, and in a year I've taken, with Kate's help of course, a nugget of an idea into a business which has partly launched an online store, and I'm just about to launch my services. And that payment plan was my saving grace, because I was able to side hustle my part-time job, and I could just do a couple of days relief teaching, to pay for that month's instalment. I would never be where I am now, in the time frame I am now, without having done that Fempreneur course. And I used that booklet like permanently attached to my desk. So I've made so many notes on it. I refer back to it constantly. I cannot recommend this enough.
Oh, thank you, Emma.
It's worth the money, the risk. You won't regret it.
I'd just add to that as well, because I think you're right. For me, I was in the same boat. I wasn't earning any money. It was a big investment. But to have the ability to split that into a payment plan made the difference for me. And I think the other thing to say is, if you Google how much business coaching costs, and I'm not taking away from Kate's skills here when I say this, it's actually really good value. And it is one of the best things that I did for me. And I debated, but in the end thought, no, this is what I need to do. I'm not going to do it. This is where I need it to go.
Grace, do you want to go talk to the ladies and put your name down so I can... Oh,
I loved it so much. I'm going in for the second time. I'm a little bit thick, but that's okay.
thank you, Eva, for that. Yeah, the payment plan is totally an option if you... we figure out a scheme that suits you, so you can get the knowledge and go. Carly, what are you waiting for?
me, I'm going to do it.
Are you?
I was waiting.
Oh, are you waiting?
No.
Do you have a question?
I agree myself. I didn't do those other sessions, but we need to do those.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think we'll be ready in time for that. But yes, I will do it after that.
Okay, well, if you want to secure this pricing, go see the ladies. Awesome. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, so keep moving on. We've got a few more. So, we all know these are the... so just to finish up, ladies, there's not one woman out there we can't help if she isn't willing to believe in herself. If she is willing, what's my return on investment? What would you do if you knew you could not fail? Okay, then we get to... Oh, this is just all the stuff we teach you. It's a lot. We can roll through this, Kel, because I'm trying to get to the door prize. So, further down, where are we? Oh, who wins the door prize? Who wants to know? So I'm going to get the box. Thank you.
Can you just double check that everybody's put in there?
Has everybody put your card in? Did everybody put your card in? Did you? Yeah? Oh, it smells beautiful. It's my oil box, my essential oil box. Oh, thank you. Oh, yes. Oh, you didn't have yours yet. Oh, absolutely. Yes, good idea. Okay. Tina, did you put yours in? Yeah, cool. I need someone to come and do the honours. Who's it going to be? Fiona, would you do the honours of drawing the door prize? Oh, yeah. Wait, hang on, we just have to... Okay, ready?
Yep. So now I feel... Let's put that one up top. Okay.
Oh! Grace got the door prize! Oh my goodness! Thank you, Fiona. Oh, Congratulations.
Thank you.
Karen just put your card in there at the end. Ladies, thank you so much for today. I'm super grateful that you turned up, did anyone, who got great value out of today? Yeah? Oh, I'm glad. Thank you so much for being here. We'll do this again sometime and we'll keep updating the content and keep it fresh and real. But thank you again. Thank you so much. And we'll see you all soon. Thank